Hello, everyone. Hello. Good evening. Uh, this is Eden Pains again. My name is Abiodun, and as you can see from the banner that you can see right here, I actually want to discuss this. I have a story that I got wind of, and it's important to get to discuss what some of our men go through, the challenges that a lot of men, witness these days in our society. And that is why I decided to bring this topic. I actually saw something on the social media that was on, on TikTok. I saw a video. It was the video that prompted this. And I decided that we should discuss it because a lot of men are not speaking up on what they are going through. But I would like that we chat about it, we discuss about it, and let people know what your thinking is or what your thoughts are regarding this issue. This was the video that I saw online, and let me play it so that we can move on from there.
Dayo, irun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ẹ wọ́n ti fi ṣe fíìmù Mide Martins fi ṣe fíìmù èmi ò tí wo fíìmù yẹn o mọ̀ sí mi jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé it is about one single mother tó tọ́jú ọmọ táwọn ọmọ wa padà wá béèrè bàbá wọn. That's the reality tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mi èmi tí mo dúró síwájú yín. That's the reality tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mi. Bó ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀ gẹ́lẹ́ nìyẹn fún 17 years onígá yìí fi deny ọmọ ní bàbá. Ó deny ọmọ yẹn ní bàbá. Ó sọ fún ọmọ yẹn pé kò ní bàbá láyé rárá. Ó sọ fún pé bàbá ẹ̀ ti kú. Bó ṣe dá tọ́jú nìyẹn wà táwọn fámílì ẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n ọmọ yẹn ti máa gbọ́ pé mi ni bàbá òun, ọmọ yẹn máa wá. Gbogbo ìgbà tọ́mọ yẹn bá sáwá sọ́dọ̀ mi, ọmọ yẹn sáwá gbà tó wà 10 years. Àwọn anti-kidnapping squad náà fi wá gbé mi. Ike kojú ọmọ gbé. Mo dẹ̀ sọ fún ọmọ yẹn mo ní kó jọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run fi mí lẹ̀. Ìyá ló mẹ́ni tó bí ọmọ. Kó máa mú lọ. Nígbà tó tún di tọ́mọ yẹn tún pé 13 years, ọmọ yẹn tún sáwá. Wọ́n tún gbọ́lọ́pàá dé pé mo tún jọmọ gbé. Ìgbà tó máa yẹ pé 15 years ọmọ yẹn sáwá fúnra mi ni mo máa lọ police station pé ọmọ yìí ń sáwá o ó lè mi ni bàbá òun. Ìyá ẹ sọ pé èmi kan bàbá ẹ kó máa mọ ọmọ lọ kó lọ dá tọ́jú. Ọmọ wa pé 17 ọmọ wa lòun ò lọ́dọ̀ yẹ ọmọ kọ́dọ̀ mi lòun wa máa gbé mo ní kò possible. The only thing ta lè ṣe òun ni pé ká dìtà mi bóyá èmi ni bàbá ẹ tó tó abẹ́mi kan bàbá ẹ báyìí kóra wa lọ kọ́ọ̀tì ní last year nìyẹn. Ìjẹta ni mo gba judgement kí n tó gba judgement ńkọ́ all evidences proved that I am the boy's father. And the court actually granted me custody after 17 years. The court said we should go and change the boy's name to my own son name after 17 years. Ọmọ tí ń gbé pẹ̀lú mi nísìnyí o, ọmọ tí wà pẹ̀lú mi nísìnyí. For 17 years, court ò award ẹni wọ́n kọ́bọ̀. Kí ni mo sọ? Court ò fún ní 1 ṣíṣì. Wọ́n ní kí n compensate ẹni 1 ṣíṣì. Because the fact on ground ó show wípé òun ló deny mi ní access. Kì í ṣe wípé mi ò fẹ́ tọ́jú ọmọ. Courts are not biased. Court wà biased at all when it comes to paternity of a child. Ìwọ tó bá ti jẹ́ bàbá tó bá mọ̀ kó fẹ́ tọ́jú ọmọ ẹ má gbé ya ọmọ ẹ lọ court tó bá deny access fílẹ̀ jó dá tọ́jú jó dá rẹ ru òfò tó wáyé wá rù. Court ò lè grant ìyá ọmọ yẹn tó tọ́jú ọmọ ṣe wọ́n lè grant ẹ 50 kobo. It's not because they check obìnrin ni judge. They check the matter on ground. They looked at every fact on ground. Also, this man is ready to take care of his son, but you denied him access. You denied him everything. You even said he is not the father. Court had to send us back to the DNA lab to go and do DNA to ascertain if I am the boy's father, which of course came back 99.9999% that I am the father. And now, court has granted me custody because the boy wanted to live with me. The boy needed a father. The boy needed to have a father. So if you are a lady, you actually carried 17 years of what I'm supposed to be responsible for. And who told you I don't want to take care of my own child? Because you don't want me to have access to him, you took him to the most expensive school that I cannot even afford. No problem, you took care of my responsibility. But now the court has said I am the father of the child and the child should be living with me. They granted me custody. The name that you did not give him, the Oyo State Court has now said we should go and change the name with immediate effect. And now the boy is going to be answering my name. So eleje láàká ìfẹ́ yóò obìnrin tẹ wọ ọmọ ọkùnrin mọ́ yá ẹ kàn ṣe lásán ni ẹ kàn ké lásán tí nǹkan kò ní ṣẹlẹ̀. You will cry, nothing's gonna happen. Because the court will check facts, not sentiment and not emotion. Not sentiment, not emotion. Gbogbo ìwọ kan bàbá ẹ̀, ìwọ kan bàbá ẹ̀, ìwọ kan bàbá ẹ̀. Just one DNA ó show gbogbo pé mi ni mo bí. Just one DNA ó show pé mi ni bàbá ọmọ yẹn. Nínú court document ẹ̀ ó ní owó tó ń fi tọ́jú ẹ̀ láti ilẹ̀ kí n tiẹ̀ compensate tó ń bí 5 million. Court jẹ́ kán mọ̀ pé wọn kì í sanwó owó bẹ́ẹ̀. Igbe gbogbo ojú. They didn't award her 50 shishi, 50 kobo by one fún for raising a boy for 17.
So, this is a story that prompted this live show. The truth is that what he's saying, because he spoke some Yoruba there, let me just explain a little bit what he was saying. He's saying that a woman deprived him of, a lady that had his baby, deprived him of access to the baby for 17 years. Even when the baby was coming to him, she was always calling the police on him and saying that he kidnapped the baby, he wants to use the baby, he did whatever with the baby is not his, the court should not, the police should arrest him, send him to jail and all of that, nonsense. And when I watched the video, I was taken aback, like, why are some women like this? Why are some women doing this? Are you doing this to punish the child? Or you're doing this to punish the father of your child? I don't think it's best for you to, punish the father of your child. Because if you're doing that, you're invariably punishing the child, him or herself. Two people came together to, have conjugal whatever, and baby, arrives from the intimacy, and the baby didn't ask to be born. So why would you now feel that you should deprive the baby of fatherly access, fatherly care, fatherly love, and all of that? That's I don't think that is right. Now, when I saw this video today, it now spurred up another story that I had, that I kept for a while, which I wanted to talk about. But I'd actually kept the story for a while because I was looking for a good time to, do it. So when I saw the video today, I was like, okay, let me do this story. So there's this brother who was married sometimes. He was married sometimes in 2000, and I think he told me 2007, because the son is 18 as of June this year. Yes, so he was married 2007. He said they had a baby 2008. They had a boy 2008. So he was married 2007. Somehow his story is such that he lost his marriage. When he lost his marriage, he lost his marriage due to crisis in Nigeria. The crisis was in the banking sector. So he lost his marriage, and but he chose to be in his son's life. He chose to be in his son's life. He was, he was struggling, making sure that he can at least attend to the son, and he's an hardworking guy. So he wasn't relaxing. As he was applying for jobs, he was doing menial jobs and all of that. But the money cannot be like when you are like a big boy in the bank, when you were making a lot of money, you were traveling overseas for holidays and all of that. So the ex-wife could not take it anymore. Somehow they divorced. somehow they went their way. But the guy was looking back because he knew that he had a son to take care of. As luck will have it, this brother got God restored him. Let me put it that way. God restored him. God brought him back. He was able to get another job. He didn't just get another job. He got a high-flying job. He got a classical job. He got a job that he became like the head of an organization in a particular region of Nigeria. And he was making money, but he was now divorced. So the ex tried to come back to him, but he was turning the ex down. He was turning the ex down and saying no. He doesn't want the ex back. Fast forward, this brother saw the wahala in Nigeria. He relocated to a particular country in Southeast Asia, one of the very advanced countries in Southeast Asia. He flew there, relocated there, and he was still in touch with the ex-wife who had the son, in terms of not in touch per se, but at least trying to know about the child's well-being. That's the boy. So before he left Nigeria, the ex-wife made advances at him to, the ex-wife was trying to come back because things have changed for him, right? He's gotten his life back. Everything became well. And the guy was he was balling because he became a permanent resident of a very massive, solid country. So the wife was doing everything to get the guy back. But the guy said no. In fact, the guy moved on and remarried. Let me put it that way. The guy remarried, but he traveled. I don't want to mention the name of the country because some people know the story. They might come for me. So the guy moved, but he didn't move with the wife. The wife did not like the country that he moved to. So the wife said, I'll stay back in Nigeria. That's the new wife. I'll stay back in Nigeria while you will process the country that I want. I don't want to go with you to that country where you are. So let me wait for you in Nigeria while you process the country where I am. Because processing the country where the wife wants is a lot faster in an advanced country than when you process it from Nigeria. So meanwhile, his first wife knows that he has remarried. So the first wife, when the guy was going to that country, an advanced country, in fact, let me tell you, the country is one of the G5. It's an advanced country, very solid country. But the first wife was monitoring the guy. So because, when you are going to such country, they will ask you, have you married? Do you have children? So when the guy was doing his medical examination for that country, he listed the son as a beneficiary or a potential beneficiary of the permanent residents of that country. So the boy was listed, the new wife was listed, but the old wife was not listed. Listen to this story. So when the guy got to that country, he now told the guy had the son had so when he got to that country where he went to, the second wife was in Nigeria, wanted to go to another country. The country is in North America. So the guy now from that country where he was processed North American country. And he was successful because it's going to be faster. Very few people want to leave that country to the North American country. So it was faster. The guy went back to Nigeria, specifically 2018. When he went to Nigeria 2018 to pick the new wife, which is the second wife, they don't have any children together at that time. To pick the second wife, he went straight to the house of the first wife because they were still in Nigeria at that time. As I speak to you now, the first wife and the boy, they have left Nigeria. They are somewhere in an advanced country as well, somewhere very one of the top countries in the world. But as at that time, they were still in Nigeria. So the guy before he left the country where he was living, I'm not going to mention any country because people will know this story. Before the guy left the country where he was, he chose to buy quite a lot of things for the son. He asked the son, what do you want? The guy said he wants, at that time, he told me that the son wants the world's Guinness Book of Records. He wants he wants a boot, Timberland. He wanted the guy just shot for the son. He shot from the airport. Muritala Mohammed drove straight. They live in somewhere in Festa. The guy left. The guy with the ex-wife and with the second wife, because the second wife met him at the airport. They drove from the airport straight to the house of his son, where the son lives with the mother. Dropped the package that he brought from, wherever he was coming from. Hugged the son, kissed the son. In 2018, December specifically, because I read this story. That's why I'm saying this very well. In 2018, do you know that December 2018 was the last time the guy heard of the son? 2018. The next time the guy was going to have a tete-a-tete with the son was 2026. As I speak to you, since 2018 till date 2026, the guy had not seen his son. 8 freaking years. So when the guy finished Christmas in Nigeria, he got a permanent residency to relocate to another country, right? Which is not an American country, whatever you can guess, whichever one, but it's a popular country that people know. So when the guy relocated, when he filed for that country, the guy added his son's name in the processing of that country. The guy added his son's name in the processing of that country. When the guy got to the country with the new wife, he now called the first wife and said, hey, go and do the medicals of my son so that at least I can give him the green card too for this country. Go and do it. You know what? The guy will pay for it. They will go and do the medicals. When it now comes to the country will now say, bring your passport, take it to the embassy, let us stamp it with the green card. The wife will say, no, you must add my name. You must add my own. This boy is not going. The guy has paid for everything. It's not like the boy is going. It's just to get the green card and the guy can return back to Nigeria to be with the mother. As at that time, 2019, the boy was born 2008. So as at 2019, the boy was just about 11, 12 years old, right? It was just 2008 and 2019. It's just about 8. The boy was just about 11, 12 years old, right? So the boy cannot go and be with the man, apart from the fact that he is married with a wife. The boy will still need the mother at that age. First time she turned after wasting money for medicals and all that, they've gotten letter and say, take your passport. That time the country, the stamped green card, or what we call it landing visa. I've forgotten the name specifically. It's the name of the country is Canada. Let me just name it. Canada said they should take the passport to Ghana and go and stamp it. The wife turned it down and said, no, we must start the process all over again. If you don't put my name, this boy is not going. After a couple of months later, or a couple of years later, the guy was telling me that he begged the wife and said, look, we have something has happened between us. We are divorced. Whatever has happened between us. Please, for this boy's sake, because there's a time frame that he must submit the boy's name for the visa. Let this guy benefit from me being a Canadian permanent resident. I can afford to pay again. This guy paid for the second time. He paid, he did everything. The second time, the wife turned it down. The guy got frustrated, and somehow it ended like that. The boy could not join him in Canada. Fast forward, this guy, something else happened to him. The wife that he married and took to Canada, that one could not have a child for him. And the funny thing is that one went to Canada because the ex-boyfriend was is in Canada. So that was why the first one, the second wife, could not go with him to the initial country that the husband went to. She turned that country down because she was in touch with the ex who was in Canada. So the plan was, I can't go to that country. I would rather prefer that we go to this country, which is Canada. But while they were in Canada, or even before they got to Canada, the second wife was planning with the ex-boyfriend in Canada. So the moment they got to Canada, under 3 months, 4 months, the second wife zapped. Now, this guy was distraught. He became a shadow of himself. Let me put it that way. He was working with one of the best banks in Canada, and he was lucky. He was giving therapy. He was giving help. He got the help that he needed, and he sought the help of a therapist. Let me put that straight again. And he was healed, Now, this guy decided that he wasn't going to try marriage again, but he was going to try and, have a child. This is now where the story is. The guy decided that he wasn't going to have a child in North America because of the expenses, the child bills, and what do you call this child? This is that government takes from your pay. He wasn't going to. He just made decisions that he was just going to try and see if he can, have a child, because already the ex-wife, the first wife, had taken his child out of his life. So he wanted a child that would be in his life. So he tried to go to Nigeria and, try and get someone pregnant. A lady got pregnant for him. They were in touch. Sadly, the lady passed away at childbirth. He lost the child. He lost the woman. He made a second attempt, which is the reason for this video. He made a second attempt. He attempted to go get married. He told me that he actually did go to get married, right? And as at the time he was going to the marriage, it was structured that the new lady that he wanted to marry is a lecturer. And it was structured that they were going to get married. He's going to stay within 4 weeks to get the lady pregnant, because the lady would be within the window of ovulation. So he can, attempt to get the lady pregnant. But he told me that on getting there, he saw some red flags, which had happened to him before, so he stayed away. So he later told me that he was one of the old flings and old friends, He called her and, stayed back, and because the one that he wanted to get married to, he had left her. So the remaining weeks that he was supposed to stay in Nigeria, so he decided to, have fun. And he met these old flings, and they had one ex-girlfriend, and they had a good time. And all of a sudden, but of course, the lady was using medication. Long story short, at the time the guy was going to be coming back to the guy in the US. As at the time he was going to be coming back to the US, the lady he was having fun with just said that all the medication she was using, failed, that she's pregnant. Whoa, pregnant? How can you be pregnant? We didn't plan to, to have babies. the lady told me that, and I said the lady, the guy told me that he asked the lady, why would the medication fail? And now that the medication has failed and you're pregnant, what do you want to do with the baby? Oh, the lady said, oh, she's 38 years old. She can't do anything to the baby. She's going to have the child. And the guy was like, no, this wasn't the plan. Are you ready to take care of the child? Are you ready to, what if I disappear? What if you can't find me tomorrow? What if, all the what ifs? Anything can happen. I can pass, I can lose my job. Or you're thinking because, okay, I have the leeway to be able to take you out of the country, then you can, take advantage of me. And, the guy explained to her and said, hey, don't do this. If this is your plan, it might not work. So the lady said she's fine. She's going to be able to take care of it and all that. And that this thing. But apparently, what happened was that the guy told me that he had told the lady his story, how the first wife could not let him be in the life of his child. When you have old flames, someone that you dated before, and you tell the story of your life, you explain yourself to, you have fun. Like, this is what happened to me. Oh, that's why I'm not in the life of my son and all that. Do you understand? Apparently, she now felt like, okay, that's an opportunity to enter this guy. This guy is childless. Let me just have a child for him. We'll get to know that from some things I'm going to show now. Fast forward, the guy returned to the US. They were in touch. The guy was sending money to her, first trimester, second trimester. And then during the third trimester, she started, behaving somehow. And of course, obviously, a pregnant person will have hormonal imbalances. For her, some women will be very beautiful when they are pregnant. Some women will not be so beautiful when they're pregnant. So she was, I think she hated herself because even the pregnancy could not let her eat food properly, So she wasn't really too okay. But what the brother told me was that during the pregnancy, she started speaking negatively. Oh, she would wish she had not gotten pregnant. Oh, this, oh, that. We're like, no, don't talk like that. Don't talk to my child like that. And somehow they had issues. Along the time when she was pregnant as well, the lady was admitted based on, that she, I think she had fibroid. So fibroid was giving, the fibroid and the baby were competing for space in the womb. So it was more like a painful period for her. And I think that period she got admitted in the hospital. This brother sent 300,000 immediately, the very first time they got admitted and all that. And later she started bringing all the bills and saying they need more money, they need more money. And the brother flared up and said, hey, wait, what's going on here? The first place, I didn't tell you that I want a child. And the second place, I told you, are you ready to be able to, foot the bills of this thing? Why are you, pushing all the financial expenses on me and all of that? You should be able to bear some responsibility. At least I've given you about $1 million before all of this happened. I've given you about $1 million within 2 months and all that. So what's going on here? You two foot the bills. That actually now brought a web of confusion and all of those brouhaha that you kind of experience when people two people that are not married and have expecting a child amongst themselves. Long story short, during the period of the second trimester, third trimester, they were not talking. The brother was making advances and trying to talk to her and all that. Apparently, I think during the period when they had issues, the brother was like, why are you talking negatively to the unborn child? I think I might have to come and do DNA because are you truly qualified to be the mother of my child? So this brother said she stopped communicating. Then the brother went to Nigeria and he reached out. In the process of reaching out, this sister will not reply, will still not reply his messages, because at that time, the brother said he went to Nigeria in February. This very February. It's a very recent story. This same February, and it was in Nigeria for like 4 weeks. So within the 4 weeks, he decided to, reach out to her and discuss. And she will not talk. He will reach out to her. She will not respond via text. So what he now did was, he said he now went to their chat history and remembered that there was an address that had her house address, her parents' address, not just her house address, her parents' address. So he now, just like you want to reply to a message, he now used that message and said, I'm coming to this address to look for you. At least I can ask your parents where you are. Now, so this my sister replied him and she said, glad that you're in the country. The DNA that you are insisting on doing, please come and carry out the DNA. Now, so my sister responded to the message of this brother. So this brother now said, okay, fine. I'll be returning to America in 3 days. I might not be able to do DNA again. I've been talking to you for the past 1 week, but you didn't respond. And now I am about to travel. She said, no, if you are serious, you'll be able to do the DNA. They can ship the result to you. They can send it to you via email. You can send it to you via post, whatever way you want it, but just let us do the DNA before you leave. And the brother thought of it and said, okay, that's fine. Let's do the DNA. He looked for, a DNA center, and he got one, and they said, yeah, they can do the DNA, but the result will be sent via email. Fantastic. He said, no problem. How much is the DNA? 300,000. He said, that's all right. I'll pay for it. And long story short, she carried the baby. They met at the DNA center. The brother said when he saw the child, he knew that the child was his, and that he hesitated not to, he wanted to say, let us stop the DNA, and that he would just give the cash to the mother and all that. But on the second note, he said, for the future, for future reason, why don't I just do the DNA instead of, just assuming that it's my child, because the child is looking like me. It doesn't mean that it might be my child. I might just be assuming. So he went ahead with the DNA. So while they were doing the DNA, he noticed the name of the child. He noticed that his name was not written, as in his last name was not there. The last name on the child's name is the father of the mother. Father of the child is bearing the name of the father of the last name of the father of that's the grandfather. The guy was taken aback and he was like, okay, no problem. But he knew that child was his. DNA done. They didn't even talk together. The lady was, doing like, it's a criminal, or she's, relating with the criminal. Long story short, DNA result came a week after. The brother was already in America. DNA result came, and the brother said he sent a message. Now, this is where I need you to join me. The reason for this show is to be able to know. I want to confirm from the audience. If you're watching this show much later, if you're watching now, you can drop your message, you can drop a chat. I want to know, the brother is watching us as well. I want to know if the brother was, from the story I narrated, if the brother was right. What has he done right? And what has he done wrong? And what do you think about what the lady has sent? But let's read it together. So after the brother got this DNA result, he said he sent her a chat, and this is the chat. So for privacy reason, I blurred the name of the individuals. He wrote, it was March 19, can you see? He said, hello, that was a couple of months ago, March 19. He said, hello, madam, so. I know you must have seen the DNA result. And of course, I saw it. When I saw him last week, that means the week they did the DNA result, when I saw him last week, I almost was going to pause the text because it was obvious who his father is. That's a complete replica of me. So the man is admitting that this child, belongs to him. It's a complete replica of me. Anyways, moving forward, can we go past what must have happened and let me know what you think is next step? But if I should demand, I want the following for him. The guy is even saying here that, anyways, moving forward, can we go past what must have happened and let me know what you think is next step? That means he is still pushing the demand to her and saying, let me know what the next step. But if I should, that is, if I can. He's not saying it's by must, but he's saying if I should demand, I want the following for him, not even for himself. He's saying the following for the child. He wants the following for the child. So let's check what he's demanding for the child. One, change his last name to, okay, apparently, like I said, the boy had a last name that was for the grandfather. So the father wants his last name to this. And I will send you names. I will name him as a dad. That is, he wants to give the child a name so you can do his birth certificate accordingly. Accordingly means, yes, you can do it the right thing, right? To do the proper thing for the birth certificate. He wants to give the child a name and also give him the last name so that he can do the birth certificate accordingly. What is his date of birth? The dad wants to know the date of birth. Please go open a GT Bank account. That is one of the major, if you're watching, if you're not in Nigeria, this is a major bank in Nigeria. It's the easiest way, it's the easiest bank to send money to and in and out. It's a Guaranteed Trust Bank. That's the full name of the bank. Open a GT Bank account in his name. Open a GT Bank account in his name so I can send him his monthly upkeep. So, I mean, this man is a very responsible man. He wants to do the needful. I need to be able to see, number 4, I need to be able to see him weekly. What arrangements do you want to make for that? For that weekly in a video call. That means he's asking that he wants to be in his life so that he can, talk to him, all of that and all that. So he wants to be able to talk to him, to the child, that is the boy. I look forward to your candid response on all of this. Thank you for your care. He was trying to say your care. Thank you for your care to my beautiful son. I will need the documentation so I can add his name to my US and Canadian profile. So apparently this guy is a Canadian and he also has a US profile. So he's apparently a green card holder in the US and he's also Canadian. He has lived in Canada before. So this is the message, the little message is sent to the woman. And the woman responded accordingly. Let's see our response. She responded immediately and said, hello, and mentioned his name and said, I must say that I am disappointed in your message to me, as it didn't show any form of remorse or how you choose to treat me and my child. Firstly, let me make this very clear. I didn't fall from heaven. I have a family that stepped up and supported me when you choose to disappear. Without them, things would have turned out very differently. You need to start by apologizing for the insults and disrespect in your WhatsApp message to me in August 2025. And you also need to call my parents, my siblings, and my in-law for one-on-one apology. Apparently, I think the insult that she was talking about here is when the guy was asking her, are you sure you qualify to be the mother of my my son, the way you are talking about an unborn child like this, you are regretting to have had this pregnancy. Why would you be talking like that to a child? So that is the insult she's talking about for an apology. So now the letter continues thus. Just for clarity, you stated in your message in August 2025 that you second guess if truly I deserve to be the mother of your child. Well, if I were to truly pick a father for my child, I wouldn't pick a disrespectful, cold-hearted man like you. I honestly thought you have learned from your past experience and take this second chance more seriously. But it's clear you have refused to learn. I am a grown woman, and this is my first child, and I do not take it for granted. It's actually ridiculous that you think you can make demands about the baby when you didn't contribute a single kobo towards the rest of the period of the pregnancy and its delivery or any of, please follow me through, any of his needs, mainly because you have doubts about his conception. Well, newsflash, you can't make demands and you don't get to set any terms here. If you want access to him, it will be on my terms and at my convenience, not whenever you feel like it. You also need to stop underestimating me and treat me with respect. After abandoning him from 4 months into the pregnancy, you have no right to come back and act like you're in control. That will never happen. I must really look stupid to you for you to think you could just come up with your own terms and condition on what you want for my child. So apparently she owns the child alone for my child. Okay. The story is very long, so the letter she wrote is quite long. That would be okay. So the next one is, it is clear the DNA result proved you wrong because your actions shows that you thought I was pinning somebody else's child on you, as you clearly stated very frequently that you would do a DNA test on the child, and I never opposed it. Just for your information, I am well raised and not a loose girl on the streets of Lagos. At your age, with your experience in life, I expected you to act better with maturity in handling this matter. But I was wrong because you clearly haven't learned anything about respect for women and the process of bringing a child into this world. Moving forward, here are my terms. These are our terms. Number one, all funds spent on the baby are well documented and total till date will be sent to you for reimbursement to the last kobo into my bank account. That's number one. She wants all the money that she has spent on the baby to the last kobo in her bank account. I will only agree to give him your surname and no other names from you. Some women get liver. Said, I will only agree to give him your surname and no other names from you. When I read it, this one is even it's not about the money, it's about this one is the funniest. When I read this letter, I just laughed. I was like, what? Some women are very funny. Number three, you are not allowed to call him until he can communicate independently, and then you can get him his own phone or tab or whatever you like. However, monthly developmental pictures will be shared with you on WhatsApp. This brother tried. So the next one is not finished though. Let me continue. Number 4, it is important that you pay for his health insurance. which would be renewed yearly. The bill will be sent to you. This is a baby of, I think the baby was born in January. This is March. This is a baby of 3 months. The brother told me in confidence that he was going to be sending the child $500,000 every month. $500,000 naira every month. That's about $300 or $400. Yeah, hold on, let me calculate. That's about, yeah, almost $400 monthly for a baby that is 3 months old. Number 5, we need to move to a bigger apartment within Ogba, that's Ikeja, to make room for the baby, and you will pay for the rent yearly. The sum will be communicated to you. A sum for his well-being and upkeep, which will include mobility and crèche, will be sent to you for monthly payment into my bank account. That's into the mother's bank account. Don't forget, the man has told her, go and open a bank account in his name. Number 7, school fees and other educational expenses will also be sent to you when the time comes for you to pay every time as required. Let's continue. Number 6, a sum for his I've read that one. Number 8, you are also required to open an educational trust account for him with Stanbic IBTC Bank or any other bank of your choice. Number 9, you are also required to organize a meeting between my family and your family. Don't get me wrong, we are not asking for a marriage with you, just a family introduction for the sake of the child. These are my terms of engagement. So, this is the story that I brought to you tonight. Don't forget, I played this earlier.
Dayo, irun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ẹ, wọ́n ti fi ṣe fíìmù, Mide Martins fi ṣe fíìmù. Èmi ò tí wo fíìmù yẹn o. Wọ́n mọ̀ sí mi jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé it is about one single mother tó tọ́jú ọmọ táwọn ọmọ wa padà wá béèrè bàbá wọn. That's the reality tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mi. Èmi tí mo dúró síwájú yín, that's the reality tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mi. Bó ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀ gẹ́lẹ́ nìyẹn. For 17 years, onígá yìí fi deny ọmọ ní bàbá. Ó deny ọmọ yẹn ní bàbá. Ó sọ fún ọmọ yẹn pé kò ní bàbá láyé rárá. Ó sọ fún pé bàbá ẹ̀ ti kú. Bó ṣe dá tọ́jú nìyẹn wọn àtàwọn fámílì ẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n ọmọ yẹn ti máa gbọ́ pé mi ni bàbá òun, ọmọ yẹn máa wá. Gbogbo ìgbà tọ́mọ yẹn bá sáwá sọ́dọ̀ mi, ọmọ yẹn sáwá gbà tó wà 10 years. Àwọn anti-kidnapping squad náà fi wá gbé mi. Ike mo jọ ọmọ gbé. Mo dẹ̀ sọ fún ọmọ yẹn mo ní kó jọ́ torí Ọlọ́run fi mí lẹ̀. Ìyá ló mẹ́ni tó bí ọmọ. Kó máa mú lọ. Nígbà tó tún di tọ́mọ yẹn tún pé 13 years, ọmọ yẹn tún sáwá. Wọ́n tún gbọ́lọ́pàá dé pé mo tún jọmọ gbé. Ìgbà tó máa yẹ pé 15 years ọmọ yẹn sáwá fúnra mi ni mo máa yẹn lọ police station pé ọmọ yìí ń sáwá o ó lè mi ni bàbá òun. Ìyá ẹ sọ pé èmi kan bàbá ẹ kó máa mọ ọmọ lọ kó lọ dá tọ́jú. Ọmọ wa pé 17, ọmọ wa lòun lọ́dọ̀ yẹ ọmọ kọ́dọ̀ mi lòun wa máa gbé mo ní kò possible. The only thing tá a lè ṣe òun ni pé ká dìtà mi bóyá èmi ni bàbá ẹ tó tó abẹ́mi kan bàbá ẹ báyìí kóra wa lọ kọ́ọ̀tì ní last year nìyẹn. Ìjẹta ni mo gba judgement kí n tó gba judgement ńkọ́ all evidences proved that I am the boy's father. And the court actually granted me custody after 17 years. The court said we should go and change the boy's name to my own son name after 17 years. Ọmọ tí ń gbé pẹ̀lú mi nísìnyí o, ọmọ tí wà pẹ̀lú mi nísìnyí. For 17 years, court ò award ẹni wọ́n kọ́bọ̀. Kí ni mo sọ? Court ò fún ní 1 ṣíṣì. Wọ́n ní kí n compensate ẹni 1 ṣíṣì. Because the fact on ground ó show wípé òun ló deny mi ní access. Kì í ṣe wípé mi ò fẹ́ tọ́jú ọmọ. Courts are not biased. Court ò wà biased at all when it comes to paternity of a child. Ìwọ tó bá ti jẹ́ bàbá tó bá mọ̀ kó fẹ́ tọ́jú ọmọ ẹ má gbé ya ọmọ ẹ lọ court tó bá deny access fílẹ̀ jó dá tọ́jú jó dá rẹ ru òfò tó wáyé wá rù. Court ò lè grant ìyá ọmọ yẹn tó tọ́jú ọmọ wọn lè grant them 50 kobo. It's not because they check obìnrin ní judge. They check the matter on ground. They looked at every fact on ground. Also, this man is ready to take care of his son, but you denied him access. You denied him everything. You even said he is not the father. Court had to send us back to the DNA lab to go and do DNA to ascertain if I am the boy's father, which of course came back 99.9999% that I am the father.
Well, that concludes this live stream. If you're watching me, please go start the video from beginning. I want you to be able to drop your honest opinion. Honest opinion. The brother is watching, like I said. Drop your honest opinion. What do you think? Is the brother wrong? If he's wrong, let him know how he is wrong. And if he is right, let us know how he is right. If the sister is right, let us know. He wants to know if he is truly wrong, because in the first place, he never asked for the pregnancy. He told me that he had asked some elderly women, some matured women. The first thing they told him is that the woman used you. The woman wanted to trap you with that pregnancy, because how would women don't get pregnant if they don't want to have it. A woman will make effort, even when she gets pregnant, she will make effort to get rid of that unwanted, pregnancy, because the baby is probably unwanted. But when you're having unprotected sex with a man and you are using protection, and you are saying that somehow the protection failed, and the man is magnanimous enough, to be helping you with monthly stipend up to about $1 million within about 2-3 months, the first trimester, the guy has already given you $1 million, in preparation for the unborn child. Then all of a sudden you started regretting, oh, I'm looking ugly. Oh, I'm not looking well. Oh, I don't like the way I'm not eating. And then you started feeling you're regretting. And the man is now telling you, stop being negative. The child is a being already. The child is hearing you. Stop being negative. Why don't you do something about that? And that got you mad and all that. And then there came this financial side of things. And the guy said, hey, I can't bear everything alone. I didn't tell you to get pregnant. Why didn't you just sort that out by yourself? That's what escalated to this. Please drop your comment. You can you can drop stories. If you have something like that, I'm ready to put it out there. A lot of things are going on. People are not speaking. Men are going through quite a lot of things. And I will be right back. Thank you for watching.
So much. If you enjoyed this, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.